Hi everyone and welcome back to So Blessed by Jess. And on today's episode, we are working on our Moda Blockheads challenge. We are in week 3. Can you believe it? Week 3 already. I am having so much fun doing this. So much fun pulling fabrics from my Sherry and Chelsea Raspberry Summer collection. I'll probably put some Laguna Sunrise in there too, just to kind of jumble it up. I'm thinking we're going to start that next week because there are some more, like there's purples in there and other just colors, and it matches and works beautifully with the collection that we have. Because I am making 2 of each block. Now, you don't need to make 2 of each block. You only need to make 1, depending on the setting that you're using. The Moda is telling us that if you make 2 blocks, you should have 2 different backgrounds maybe sometimes, because there's like a special setting. But I'm just choosing the white setting, and we're just gonna make 1 jumbo size quilt, and it's gonna be absolutely amazing. So this is our block for today. We are making Sunday's Best, and this was brought to you by Ann Sutton of Bunny Hill Designs. So amazing. I will link to her below in the description box so you have access to her and see what she's all about. She's amazing also. Really enjoy that. So let's go ahead. We have flying geese, which we will use at one of my flying geese methods. It's like one of my favorite flying geese methods. It's faster for me to make that, and I have more accuracy that way. We're going to trim everything down to its proper size and then add the squares to it. So, are you ready to pick fabrics with me? So I'm going to pick one of my fabric choices with you, and then you're going to see the other one at the end. All right, so it's that time again to pick out fabrics. And I remember we're making Sunday Best by Ann Sutton of Bunny Hill Designs. And there's 2 ways. Now, if you're making the with the multicolored backgrounds and you're making both blocks, amazing. You only have to make 1 of these 2 blocks. I'm making both of them. So what I'm doing now is I'm pulling all my fabric and seeing how I want to make this block. I've decided that this one is going to be my dark, going this way. And so I'm looking at all my other fabric, all my other blocks, and going, oh, what have I used, what have I not used so far, so that I can just make sure that everything's getting used. We haven't had a pink. Oh, that might be nice. What do you think? Okay. And then maybe we just go more this tone. I have some country songs stuck in my brain right now. If I could sing, I probably would. It's fun. Let's see here. And then the white. So flying geese, and then, all right, let's go with this one for our first block. And then I'll show you what our second block is gonna look like. All right, this is the fabric that I'm using for the flying geese. And we're gonna zoom in on it. If we look at it, we're making our flying geese with the, I call it the newer flying geese method, where you have 1 big square and then you put the caddy corner, your background, you sew down both sides, and I'll show you, but this is the newer version to me of making the flying geese. So we're gonna need 1 6-inch square. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that out. zoom right back out. Oh my word. Forgot to zoom back out. I need to change the blade. There must be a nick inside of it. No worries. We can get through this. All right, so here's our 6-inch. Then the other 2, which these are the other 2 that I'm using, we are going to make 4 2 3/4 squares from them. All right, so we're gonna lay them on top of each other. Okay, 2 3/4. Okay. And I know I'm going to have to do this twice. Okay, that fabric's done. Go ahead and turn them on its side. I know I should iron them out, but it's okay. Go ahead and straighten up one side. Okay. 2 3/4 and 2 3/4. Those will make up the cross, and then all I have left is the background. So I'll go ahead and cut the background. I'll meet you at the sewing table. So just as a reminder, this is the fabric that we're working with today. This is directional, so I'm going to make sure that when I am placing it into the block, that it's looking like this. And this is non-directional fabric, so it can be placed in any direction, but I'm going to make sure that this one is placed that it looks like this inside the block. Then we have our big 6-inch block, and then we have 4 of our background, and this is for the flying geese. So we're going to start on the flying geese. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to draw a diagonal line from corner to corner. And I'm just using a regular pen today. You can use whatever works for you. We are going to then place right sides together. Okay, and then this line should be continuous. You see how that is working out. We are going to sew a 1/4 inch down each side of this line. All right, I know it's probably hard to see, but there's my 1/4 inch down both sides, and we're going to cut this in half. So I'm just going to use this tool, just follow that line that I created. Okay, and then we are going to, let me get my pressing mat, scoot it up just a little bit more. There we go. We are going to press this open, and it's going to look like a heart. Oh, I turned it off. Oh no. Be right back. And we're back. All right, we are warmed up, ready to go. Okay. Flip back the other side. Now we have 2 more squares because we only used 2 of them. We're gonna put a line going down the centers of both of these also. From corner to corner. Okay. Now we're gonna take this new one. I guess you guys can see. We're going to then wear, you know, put it up like a heart. And we're gonna put that in the opposite corner. And so 1/4 inch, because when we open it up, there's gonna be your flying geese right there. And we're gonna make 2 of those with this one section of the block. So for every 6-inch square with 4 3 3/8 squares, you can make 4 flying geese. So I've sewn a 1/4 inch down. Now we're going to cut on that line and fold back gently. Okay. There we go. That works. I'm gonna go ahead and trim my dog ears. Less bulk, the better. So there's 3 of them. All right, so we have 4 of these. Now let's go on to the next section. So I know through my cutting instructions that these flying geese, the width of these flying geese or the height of these flying geese need to also match the height of my squares. They do not at the moment, because eventually I'm gonna be putting them at the corner. So we're going to trim them up in just a moment. We're just not gonna do it quite yet because I wanna go ahead and make this block so I know when I fit this block in like this, how long this flying geese is. So I know it has to be 2 3/8 high, but now I have to figure out the width so that I can go ahead and trim this down to its proper length. All right, so my 4 patch is complete. Now let's see how big it is. It is a perfect 5-inch 4 patch. All right, so I'm gonna push this back out of the way. We have to make sure that this is 5 inches across by 2 3/4 going high, the height of it. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is this Creative Grids. Let me go ahead and zoom you in. This Creative Grids has a 1/4 inch mark from the edge to this line right here. I'm gonna take and just put that 1/4 inch line right at the top of my flying geese. I'm gonna line up the side, and I'm just gonna go ahead and trim the top off. Okay, I don't wanna get any shorter than that on the top. If I do, that point is going to be gone. We don't want that to happen at all. Now we can measure from the top 2 3/4. Okay, so there's my 2 3/4 line. Oops, let me zoom you back out. Okay, my 2 3/4 line. All right, so now we have our height down. So now we need to make this a 5-inch. So 1/2 of 5 is 2.5. So I'm going to take my 2.5 mark and I'm going to line it up right here. And I'm going to line up the 2 3/4 line across the bottom. And then whatever's on the sides, that is what I'll trim off. So there's one side. Flip it around. I can now measure it. I can put it on my 5 mark. And 2 3/4. And my flying goose is perfect and ready to go inside my block. And I'm going to do this 4 more times. All right, let's go ahead and set up this block. So here's my center. And these are going to finish my diagonals. All right. And then our flying geese, the white goes to the outside. All right, so then eventually it'll look like a square and a square, like an economy block. So now we're just going to treat this like a normal 9 patch. We're going to attach these 2 columns together, add the 3rd column, and then do our horizontal rows. This is going to want to, when we're ironing, press in. This is going to press out, because there's more bulk right here. And this is just on 1 layer of fabric, so it's going to want to push out. And again, with this, this is going to want to fold underneath because of these seams right here. And just like that, we are complete. Isn't that such a beautiful block? Yeah, I am really enjoying this. So it's beautiful. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And it has like the little raspberries in it from Raspberry Summer. Now, you want to know what I picked for my block 2, do you not? I want to show it to you anyway. So let's see, make sure. Here we go. So I did the flying geese. I wanted, since the flying geese are larger, I kept the same fabric as in the first, but just in a different colorway. So I used the pink, and then I used the blue gingham, and then this orange, I don't know, with lines and dots. It looks pretty cool. I like it. So yeah, amazing, amazing. You guys, I'm having so much fun with this. Good skill builder activities. Just make sure that you follow the video. And if you don't watch this whole video all the way through, at least watch where I trim everything down so you have an idea. So because if not, those flying geese are going to be way too big, and we need to trim them down like an 1/8, like pretty much on all sides. It wasn't a lot, but it was just definitely enough that it would throw off your block. So anywho, yeah, so much fun. So thank you so much for following along. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm having a blast doing the Moda Blockheads Challenge 6 with you. I'm loving watching Facebook and going in there and seeing all of the Blockheads blocks that are being created. So I will be looking for the Sunny Sunday Best when I get in there and post my own in just a moment. But yeah, I'm having so much fun. So thank you so much for following along. Tell me which block that you like better, whether the version that I made on the video or the second one that I just showed you just a few minutes ago. And yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much for that. But until my next video or short, I will see you then. Bye.